Hi everyone, here's a puzzle called Breakaway from a yo-yo themed puzzle hunt. This is the entire puzzle. We have no text, no instructions, nothing except for a title and this diagram. We're looking for an answer that's a common word or phrase. Can you solve it? Pause to try it out for yourself. You'll find a link to the puzzle in the description below this video. And after the break, I'll show you the process I went through to get to the answer.
The first thing that I'm thinking about when I look at this is how do we form something out of these individual strands of letters. It's also possible that the intersections between strands matter somehow, but I don't really see a good way for that to happen. You get some things like name up here. One thing we can think about is counting the number of letters in each one, but that, if they're all the same, that could indicate something. Or if they paired up, if they were an even number, maybe they could pair up somehow and alternate letters or something like that. Like maybe you could start in the letter in the middle and then go alternating on either side of it. So these X's, how do you use these X's? It's interesting because each of these has an SI at one end and an X at the other. So maybe that's 6 somehow. So does that happen with this? THR and an EE, so that's a 3. It could be an index into something, but it could also be an enumeration, like a 6-letter word for blank. So maybe that's what the rest of the letters are. So I'm just going to shade in those letters because we've used them, and presumably the rest of the letters will do something too. So I would sort of like it if these would go one way first and then the other way, like it was a yo-yo, going down and then up. So yeah, M-A-N-U-S-C-T. It could be an anagram too. I guess I could also just take the 10th letter. Well, I would like that if the one with 10 had at least 10 non-shaded letters. But why would they choose these numbers? So if you're going to do something like that, you would have complete control, and then there would also just be a ton of letters that don't make any difference. F-I-E-L, that says field, and then a T. All right, well, for the sake of argument, let's just try taking the fifth, the counted letter from the end. So that would give us an M here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, E, a lot of E's, 4, 5, 6, another E. I mean, this is clearly not anything because there's just so many E's up here. It's funny how many times it hits E. 1, 2, 3, E. Why does it hit E so much? Well, I'm going to erase those because that's not the answer. And I think it's just a weird coincidence that we're hitting E every time. All right, I'm going to look at more of these sequences of letters. L-A-R-E-H-E-P. What's the deal with this A? It's fine. It says field. I mean, one thing to do would be to anagram these, except that SEG doesn't really lend itself to any anagram. I mean, a bunch of these we do get words. Like ephemeral. I mean, you could get ephemeral plus an M if for some reason you decide to move this letter. This could be manuscript. Oh, which is a 3-letter word that means to tear or break away. So maybe that's what's going on here. That you can add a word that means tear somewhere in these words, reading the other way, or break away, break somehow, and then that makes another word. Oh, or maybe it's always rip, because here we can add rip to this and get striptease. And this already has become non-family friendly. Scriptures. Scriptures. Thripthongs? I don't think that's a word. Thriphthongs. Diphthongs would be a word. Maybe thriphthongs is a word that I don't know. So maybe we just take the fifth letter of the word that we make after we do that. What does this one say? Erip, rip, erip, edrip, edripes. It's gotta be here. Edescriptive? Edescriptive? Oh, well, okay, let's switch with which E, and it just becomes descriptive. V. Wow, I really don't like the letter V there. Let's see what letters we have after we do this. Okay, so this one's scriptures. Then we have thriphthongs. Triphthongs? I have some confidence in this being the right. Oh, you know what? This letter might come before the V, and maybe we have to add another rip into it. Sometimes I get really excited and just start trying to figure out what's going on, and then have to remind myself that I haven't done all the clues yet. Divesting. So now the way that we got the answer out of this was I just read top to bottom, left to right. This is a pretty common extraction method. So divesting, just to rehash the steps that we took here. First, we figured out that each of these strings had a number in it, like THREE, and that was reading in one direction. And then reading in the other direction, we had some series of letters that was kind of good but kind of terrible. And then I realized that I could add the letters RIP in sequence, which is clued by the title being Breakaway, which you can't entirely see. Sorry about that. Then it turned out that you could add the word rip to all of these and make valid words like gripes. And the key to that was that you had to read in the opposite direction from the number, which I think it has to do with it being like a yo-yo trick. And then once we figured out what each of those words was, we used the numbers that we got to count into them. That's also called indexing. And took the relevant letter, put it inside the blue circle, and then we just read left to right, top to bottom. So cool. That was an interesting puzzle. All right, thanks a lot. I hope you had similar success with it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more puzzles. Okay, bye.
This puzzle brought to you by triphthongs. Triphthongs, for when two consecutive vowel sounds just aren't enough.